Hello and welcome everyone. I would like to welcome you all in our class of algebra. Today we are going to discuss about or talk about simple inequalities or simple inequations. Okay, so let's get started our class. Now, before we start our simple inequation part, let's first of all understand what is inequations and what are the basic idea of inequations. Okay, so let's start with simple introduction about inequations, and then after that we'll move ahead. In an equation or in an equality, one side is bigger than or equal to or smaller than or equal to the other side. As we know that in case of equation, there is equals to sign, and that equalize the either side terms of any equation. But in case of inequation, there will be also two sides, but two parts will be there. And in case of inequation, one side will be sometimes greater than or equals to, or maybe less than or equals to other side. That is the basic idea of inequation. Now, in case of inequation, the inequation parts are indicated by these symbols. So there are various symbols that we are going to use or that are being used in case of inequations. So let's try to understand them one after another. So our first symbol, as you can see on your screen, is this, and it is read as is smaller than. Okay, and to understand it further, to make it more clearer, you can see a small example here. That is 2 is less than 5. Yes, it is correct. 2 is less than 5, and we read like this. Okay, the meaning of that symbol is less than, or less than or smaller than also can be said. Okay, now let's try to understand the second symbol. The second symbol is just the opposite direction of the first one, and it is read as is greater than. And to clarify it further, I have written here one example also, which can be seen here as a 4, and in other side there is -2. We know that 4 is greater than -2. That's why we have written the things like this and read as 4 is greater than or bigger than -2. Right? Now let's go to the next one, next symbol. Now this symbol, in this third number symbol, is very much similar like first symbol, but there is one a kind of line which is different than the first one. So it is read as is smaller than or equal to, or is less than or equal to. Okay, so it is read as for understanding, for better understanding, I have written here one example, -5 and 0. We know that -5 is less than or equal to 0. And everyone, please don't be confused about like there is equals to sign also. As we clearly know that this symbol means is smaller than or equal to. Any one of the relation must be true. So -5 cannot be equal with 0, but -5 is less than 0. That's why one of the condition is valid. Due to that reason, this example is true for this kind of symbol. Now let's go further and let's try to understand the next symbol. Next symbol is just the very much similar with symbol number 2, and there is also equals to sign at the down, and it is also read as is greater than or equal to. And to clarify you further, I have given you two examples here. Let's see our first example. There is 3 and there is 1. So we know that 1 is greater than 3. Sorry, 1 is lesser than 3, or in opposite way we can say that 3 is greater than 1. So that's why there is also two symbols. One is greater than symbol and one is equal to symbol. So as we have discussed earlier, any one of the relation must be true, isn't it? So 3 is greater than or equal to 1. So we know that 3 is not equal to 1, but 3 is greater than 1. This is true. That's why this example is suited for this. Similarly, let's go to see the next example. There is 5 on the either side of the symbol. So 5 is greater than or equal to 5. We know that 5 cannot be greater than 5, but 5 is equal to 5. So here also, either greater or equal to. Among these two relations, one relation is valid. That's why 5 is greater than or equals to 5 is also true. So these are the various symbols that we are required or that we are going to use in case of inequation. So these all four types of symbols are known as trichotomy symbols. They are trichotomy symbols. All right. Now let's go further. After understanding various types of symbols that we use in inequations, then let's move ahead. Now, inequations on a number line. So how can we show inequalities on a number line? So first of all, let's try to understand what is this number line is. So inequation can be shown on a number line. And what is number line? Number line is actually an integer number. So you can see a figure down here. There is a given a bar line and there are different numbers of the integer groups as you can see on your screen. Okay, and there is 0, and 0 is like a connecting point of negative numbers and positive numbers, negative natural numbers and positive natural numbers. So all the natural numbers, positive natural numbers and negative natural numbers including 0, they are called integers. So normally integers are represented like this. And have you remember these kinds of things you have seen in your graph also, isn't it? X-axis, y-axis, while you are plotting these things, you are doing these things frequently. Yes, and there is one arrow you can see on your figure also. Arrow means it is going on. Okay, it is moving towards the infinity. All right, it will never end. It will just keep on going on the both sides. So this is also all about the number line. Now let us move ahead. Now, as we discussed earlier about four types of trichotomy symbols, now let's try to understand them a little bit in a deeper manner. All right, so for example, let us consider xb numbers, which are smaller than or less than 2. So it is an statement. It is a statement. So let's try to write x is smaller than 2 in a mathematical form. Can you try? Yes. So it can be written as x is less than 2 or x is smaller than 2. You can see here also it is written here x is less than 2 in a mathematical form. So now this x represents a set of numbers. Okay, in case of equation we used to find normally only one value of that alphabet or variable, but in case of inequations it is not necessary that the value of the variable should be 1 or 2 or maybe countable. It may be sometimes uncountable also. So this x represents integers, such integers which are less than 2. If you have remembered previously, just previously we have talked about integers, isn't it? So can you guess what are the numbers that are indicated by x which are less than 2 in integers? That's right, yes. There are so many numbers like less than 2 means integers. Let's not talk about decimal numbers now. Let's talk about the integers numbers. So x means those numbers which are less than 2 means 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, and so on. That means there are infinite number of elements that which represents x and which are less than 2 also. Yes, and they are called solution set. All right, everyone. So in case of solution set for x is less than 2, you can find 1, 0, -1, -2, -3, and so on, so on, so on. It is an infinite set. Yes, you have already studied about infinite set, finite set, null set also, isn't it? Well done, very good. Okay, now let's try to show this x is less than 2 in our number line. I think this word number line is not new for you now. So when we try to show number line of x is less than 2, so we'll draw a number line like this first. So x is less than 2 means x is not taking 2, but all the numbers which are less than 2, isn't it? So that means starting from 1, it should go to the left or to the right? Yes, it should go to the left, starting from 1, isn't it? It will not take 2, so that's why it is normally represented as like this. As you can see here, there is one arrow which is moving towards left, and there is a circle at 2. Circle means this inequation is not taking 2, but all the integer number which are less than 2. Okay, everyone? So, and it is written here also, x is less than 2. And there is another way also which can be used to represent the same number line. And that is like this. Okay, there will be a kind of little bit bended line, and it will be circle at 2. Circle means not including that number, but all the numbers on the side where the arrow is moving ahead. So these are two different representation, number line representation for the idea for smaller than inequation. I hope you all have got the idea about this one. Now let's move ahead. Okay, now for greater than inequation. So now here also let us consider x be numbers which are greater than 1. This is one example. So mathematically it can be written as x is greater than 1. Now if you try to find out the solution set means possible values of x which are less than 1 in case of integer number. Can you guess are greater than 1? Can you guess what are the possible values of x? Yes, that's right. It will be 2, it will be 3, it will be 4, it will be 5, and keep on going. Yes, that's right. Yes, the solution set for this inequation is 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Now, if we try to show this x is greater than 1 in our number line, then the number line representation will be like this. I think you have got some of the idea that how we can show from our first less than inequation part. So now this time x is greater than 1. So x is greater than 1 means x is not taking 1 but all the numbers which are greater than 1. So that means there will be a circle. Yes, there will be a circle at 1 and it will move towards the right. That's good. And it is also can be shown by another symbol also like this. Very good. So I think from example 1 of less than and example 2 of greater than, you have grabbed the enough idea. Okay, so I'd like to take you further. Okay, everyone. Now 3, for smaller than or equal to inequation, or for less than or equal to inequation. So here also let us consider x be numbers which are smaller than or equal to 4. So mathematically it can be written as yes, x is less than or equals to 4. Okay, now can you guess what are the solution set that will belong to this inequation? Will this time 4 also be included? Yes, because there is equals to also, isn't it? Smaller than or equal to. So that means starting from 4, including 4 itself, starting from 4, it will take all the numbers which are less than 4. So that means our solution set will be a set of elements starting from 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, and so on. That's very good. Well done, everyone. Now, let's try to show this inequation also in our number line. So, when we show this inequation x is less than or equals to 4 in our number line, the representation will be like this. So, this time, in this inequation, there is equals to sign also. So, there will be a slight change. Have you remember in case of less than and greater than, there were a circle, isn't it? But this time here there will be a dot, black dot. Okay, and as we are saying that we are taking the numbers which are less than and equals to 4 or equals to 4, so there will be a circle of black there will be a black dot. Black dot means we are including 4 also, and all the numbers towards the left of the 4. Okay, so this is the number line representation of our given inequation, and it can be also expressed by like this. So if you have remember in previous example, there was a kind of slanted line, but here in case of greater than or smaller than or equals to symbol, there is a vertical line with a black dot. Okay, everyone? Yes. So I hope you have understood this one. So I would like to take you to the last symbol, yes, which is for greater than or equals to inequation. So here also, let us take x be numbers which are greater than or equal to 0. Yes. Can you write that this language, this statement in mathematical symbol? Yes, I think you can write. Yes. So when we write this one in mathematical symbol, x is greater than or equals to 0. Now, I think you can easily find out the solution set for this. Solution set means possible values of x. So this time, x are those numbers which are greater than or equal to 0. So equal to 0 is also there. So do we include 0 also? That's right, we'll include 0 also. So all the numbers which are greater than or equal to 0 means we'll include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So our solution set will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. This is our solution set for the given inequation. Now, if we try to show this inequation in our number line, now I think you are quite familiar with the idea that starting from 0 with a circle or black dot. Yes, black dot. Yes, black dot starting from 0 to the left or to the right. Of course, to the right. Good. To the right, it will go on. That means it is the set of the value of x, the set of x will be the solution set for this inequation will be an infinite set. Yes, and it can be written or it can be represented by two different ways. So everyone, I hope you all have understood one basic idea of trichotomy symbols or inequations. Okay, so in our next video, in our next class, we'll be talking about how we can solve various inequations, and we can show them in number line, as well as we can find the solution set, which are very much similar with today's idea also. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for patiently listening, and I hope that you all have understood the things of today's class. Thank you.